Hold the fuck on. Now, I'm not one of these people that believe like Bryan Kohberger was framed by the Moscow Police Department or the FBI or anything like this. But this news that broke overnight is something that either A, proves that Bryan Kohberger's the dumbest motherfucker on the planet, or B, proves something is up. You know what this reminds me of? Remember when 9/11 happened and one of the hijackers' entire passport was found at the bottom of the wreckage, intact, completely unharmed? You and me was like, man, how the fuck is that possible? So let me get this straight. Jet fuel can take down skyscrapers, but for some reason, this dude, single passport, was found just at the bottom of the wreckage. It's kind of how I feel with this case. I'm kind of curious what you guys think. Let's go ahead and get on into it. I'm thejbgunner. This is Crime Time. Somebody related to the house in Moscow, Idaho's ID was apparently found with Bryan Kohberger. Of course, that's what News Nation reports. So take that with a grain of salt. Be here, right here, back with you. Let's get things started.
Bring it back.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day, guys. I'm thejbgunner. This is Crime Time with thejbgunner. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to everybody that supports this channel or any of my channels, regardless of the method you choose, whether it's Cash App, Patreon, Venmo, PayPal. Guys, truth is I couldn't do this each and every day as often as I do if it was not for you. So thank you guys very much. Shout out to the Gun Squad. If you too find my content valuable, feel free to hit the links down below. Support the channel. While you're down there, if you're not a snowflake, you can go check out some of my other channels, my live stream channel, things like that, gaming channel, whatever. Politics channel is down right now, so give it about 7 days. Y'all know how it is. Anyways, give it about 7 days, and then you guys can go check that out as well. The links are in the description box. Guys, we got to get into this. Now, I have to admit, I'm going to say this before we get into this. Now, my position with Bryan Kohberger has always been whether he did do it, didn't do it, there's not enough evidence to convict him. And I get a lot of you loudmouths out in the audience who's never been to jail, never fought a case like this, you just don't know shit. You're like, but JB, I watch crime TV and it says that, shut up. You don't make no sense. Until you dealt with shit like this, until you understand what is convictable evidence, what isn't, the truth of this is, I don't want to hear your fucking face. It's just reality. You motherfuckers ain't never beat a case, you've never been through a case, you've never been through a case like this, you don't know shit. You just watch court TV a lot, so shut the fuck up. But with this, I have to be honest with you. See, last week we learned, maybe a week and a half ago, we learned that the DNA on the knife sheath wasn't even originally found, so they sent it to some place in Texas that regularly, they do cold cases. They've never done a current case. So what it did is it put a lot of attention on the knife sheath that was found that was connected to Bryan Kohberger's DNA through his father. With that being the case, there's a lot of heat on this knife sheath, and I kind of feel like, well, they kind of sat there and they said to themselves, yeah, but we got IDs too. You see what I'm saying? Like, there was some brand new evidence just leaked out of nowhere. Now, in case you don't know what the evidence is, essentially it is being reported by a source that an ID with relation to the house on King Road was found with the possessions of Bryan Kohberger. Now, we're not hearing that it's a victim. We're not hearing anything like this. It could be Dylan Mortensen. Wouldn't that be a motherfucker if he has Dylan Mortensen's ID? It could be Dylan Mortensen. I don't know. But magically, this ID was found with Bryan Kohberger. So let me make this very clear. What we're hearing to this point is not only did Bryan Kohberger do it, he left the knife sheath, and for some reason, you motherfuckers think he had enough time to dig through somebody's purse, go through their belongings, grab an ID, but not enough time to grab his knife sheath. You see what I'm saying? I will say this. If he had the ID, then it can only be one of two things. Either he absolutely did it, or he was framed. I personally will say this. If he has an ID that is one of these four victims, I will say to you right now, Bryan Kohberger killed them. I will say to you right now, Bryan Kohberger will be convicted and killed via the firing squad in Moscow, Idaho. If Bryan Kohberger has an ID of any of these 4 victims, I will openly say to you, I've been wrong, and he will 100% be convicted. However, there is other possibilities. It may not be one of the victims. It could be Dylan Mortensen, which would kind of go back to some of the theories we've had in the past. How much does Dylan know? Why didn't Dylan get killed? Things of that nature. And we can argue back and forth on that all we want. The truth is, if he has the ID of any of those people in the house, I believe he did it. If that's the case, and I believe he'll be convicted. Let's go ahead and get to the news, though, because we're gonna have to check this shit out. This actually broke live last night on Chris Cuomo. Let's go ahead and check him out. Here we go.
We have another exclusive set of details, and they go to 2 aspects. One, evidence of what was found in the places where he lived.
By the way, I just want to make this clear. I just want to make this clear before we continue, okay? I want you to think about this. Think about all the mistakes he made if he did do it. But I want to just ask you guys a question real quick. It was you guys. It was you guys that told me the reason he didn't kill Dylan, JB, is because he was in a hurry. The reason he left the knife sheath day, JB, is because he was in a hurry. But you're telling me he had time to rummage through a bitch's purse and grab IDs and shit? Come on, bruh. You can't have it both ways. He was either in a hurry because this is his first kill, shit like this. He was either in a hurry or he had time to kick off his shoes and relax his feet, party on down to the escape beat and find IDs and shit. You gotta ask yourself, which one is it? You're telling me he went for the trophy, not her boots, not anything like that. He went directly to take time to rummage through her purse and find her ID. Rather than to get the knife sheath? Come on, bro. You can't really expect me to believe that. But I'll let you guys sit on that. Let's go ahead and check it out. Sit on it like a dick.
Or he inhabited, okay, that may connect him to one of the victims. An ID was found connected to someone from the home in Moscow.
Okay, so stop there. So there's a source. And what this source is saying, it's an ID connected to someone in the home. Here's what it could be. It could be an ID to just someone that knew them. It could be an ID to someone just related to them. And what you're gonna get all over the place, like the fake Christian Tyler Feller, he came out here and says, he got their IDs found. He's hit to the, you know he uses clickbait and shit. All these motherfuckers do. All of these motherfuckers do. And so what they're going to tell you is the victim's IDs was found with Bryan Kohberger. He literally, if I go there right now, I guarantee you. In fact, let me show you. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go there right now. I guarantee you're going to see Tyler. Is that his name? Tyler Feller? Is that his name? Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Hold on. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to click on that. Fuck. All right. Here's what I want to show you guys. Let's look at his recent videos. All right. Kohberger had victims' ID cards. See it right here. Breaking. Bryan Kohberger had victims' ID cards. It's clickbait. It's a goddamn lie. That's never been what was reported. Never been what was reported. And you see just how this motherfucker is. Go all the way. Hearing canceled. It all comes down to, I hate these fucking people. I hate all of them. With a strong, strong passion. Because, let's just call it what it is. They're fucking liars. Tyler Feller's a fake-ass fucking Christian on here lying to you day in and day out. That's just the fucking truth. And I can point out all kinds of other liars. One thing you ain't gonna get from me, and I'm gonna be honest, one thing you're not gonna get from people like Grizzly or Harsh, who I respect both of them, they're not lying to you. They're not sitting there putting that out there with that kind of clickbait to try to get you to click it, and then none of it's true. How many times have we went back to the Tyler Feller thing? And I know some of you people whine and say, why do you bash other YouTubers? Because they're bitch made. They are fake. I've been doing this shit for 16 years. Fuck them and fuck you. My point behind all of this is that this is where all this misinformation comes from, because you people will believe anything they write. I bet you anything. There's a goddamn YouTube video out there that says Bryan Kohberger, ID planted on Bryan Kohberger. You don't know that either. When you're looking at this, even this shit's not legit because it's a source. It's not real. Who's leaking the information? We're in the middle of a gag order. Who's leaking this fucking information? But anyway, so all that was found was an ID connected to the people in the house. It could have been just someone that worked with one of them. It could have been someone that knew one of them. It does not mean it was one of the victims. That's the truth.
Idaho. It was found during one of the searches of Kohberger's residences, plural. So what does that mean? Well, either they found it in Washington, where he was, just outside Moscow, Idaho, or in Pennsylvania. Police also believe they have evidence that could connect Kohberger to what they are viewing as cyber stalking of someone from the Moscow residence.
Okay.
We've reached out to the police.
And there's no comment. Where are all of these things coming from? And let me be perfectly honest with you. They said the cyber stalking thing fucking months ago. It's really crazy how these things get blown out of proportion. I mean, was he maybe hollering at them in one of the Tinders or something? Maybe shit, I would have too. I wish these bitches were still alive so I could swipe right. But I'm just being dead honest with you, is that they're gonna say that because look, man, you know how these dudes are on dating sites. Not necessarily this dude, but you too, motherfucker. You guys are so goddamn. You chase pussy like a dog with the little pink thing hanging out because you have no game at all. So I continue to fuck and you people continue to chase. The reality of this is a lot of these lame ass dudes do look like they're stalking. They'll send one message after another, no response, no nothing. They'll just keep going. And I've seen, I've dated chicks and been with chicks, and they've showed me the inbox messages from some of these fucking dudes. There are legit motherfuckers out here that look like they're stalking, and they're not. They're just fucking desperate for pussy. That's the truth. Let's go ahead and get back to this. Let's get back to this.
Due to the gag order, they can't confirm this information.
Of course they can't.
But does this answer two questions? Is it a smoking gun? I never really understand what that means. Obviously, is it the murder weapon? Who is it? No. But does it connect him to a group of people he had no business to be familiar with?
How do you know he didn't?
And does it imply...
Why didn't he have no business being connected to him? He was a college motherfucker. They were a college motherfucker. How do you know he wasn't beating the brakes off of Dylan's back? How you know? How you know? See, that's the thing. All you people like to call him incel and shit like this. How do you know Bryan Kohberger was not laying the burger on Dylan, what's her name, Mortensen? You don't know. You don't know shit. He might have been fucking every bitch in the house. You don't know that. So it's so weird to say he had no business there. It was a fucking party house, probably a drug house. All of that. He does drugs. We're going to end up finding out, I'm going to be honest with you, we're going to end up finding out that Bryan Kohberger knew these people a lot more than you think. We're going to find out in the end that the connection, you got to understand, Bryan Kohberger was very, very confident. You understand he knew all of this shit was left. He knew the knife sheath was left, and you believe he'd taken IDs and all kinds of gloves, everything that will tie him to the case to Pennsylvania with him? Stop. So what I am saying is that when Bryan Kohberger got arrested, he was very clear. Did anybody else get arrested? Remember he said that? And then he, through his attorney, said that he will be, I forgot the words. He exonerated. Bryan Kohberger's pretty fucking confident. There's got to be some reason why. So, look, if he has the IDs of any of the victims, guilty. But we're not really getting any information here. Kohberger
may have had more people on his list, and that may be why they're investigating him to see if they can connect him to any other situations.
Sure.
Let's bring in retired FBI
agent, talk about that in the next video,
legal
too.
Contributor Jennifer Coffindaffer and high-profile trial attorney Mark Garagos. To both of your reckonings, you're familiar with the reporting and the sourcing on this. I basically have it right, yes? Nods of the head is enough? Okay, so from the investigative side, look, Garagos hates doing anything that's favorable to me. You see that? Even nodding his head. He didn't really want to. He was fighting it. So from the investigative side, Jennifer Coffin-Davis, let's start with you. You find ID from one of the victims in a place that was controlled.
So now you're saying one of the victims. Do you see how they just did that? Even Cuomo can't get it right. Is it someone connected to someone in the house, or is it of one of the victims? You see how they do this shit? News Nation be on some bullshit because there's no real news anyway that's come out. I don't know. I'm going to stand by what I say. If he does have an ID of any of these chicks, he is 100% guilty. Period. He will be found guilty and he will be executed. However, this just feels really fucking convenient. This feels like that 9/11 found your passport at the bottom of the rubble type shit. I'll leave that up to you guys, though. Let's go.
Inhabited by Kohberger. Let's start with that. How big a deal?
It's a big deal. That is a smoking license. Just like the sheath was a smoking sheath found next to Maddie with his DNA on
I despise Coffin-Davis.
It's the same thing in this situation. Why would he have an ID related to one of those people from that house? And remember, we know that identifications were recovered from the glove box, and that was at the Pennsylvania search warrant. So
Now, I will say this. And this is something that she's not wrong about. If you look at the search warrant, right? If you look at all this shit, it clearly talks about a glove with cards in it. I think right here, 10 cards inside glove, inside box. Now we don't know if that was the glove box per se. But it does say. Let me make this smaller so you guys ain't gotta. Right here, it says 10 cards inside glove, inside box. That does not say inside glove box. So we don't know. There could have been just a box in the house. Okay? And let's look at some of the other things that's being looked at right there, because we got to ask ourselves, did that come from the car? When you look at some of this shit, I'm not 100% sure that this shit came necessarily from the car. Let's see here. This is at the end of the warrant. So it definitely could be, because right here in Washington State, there's paperwork, there's all kinds of shit. But I'm not 100% sure this came from the car per se, because there's clothes here. I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible. So the belief that this came from the car glove box, don't know. But it was 10 cards found in a glove inside of a box on the search warrant. Question is was this ID one of the cards in that box?
Interesting. We always wondered, what were those identifications that they referred to?
What's the counter?
It didn't say ID cards.
Well,
what do you mean, what was those identifications? Coffin-Davis? The fuck are you talking about? What was those identifications? This doesn't say ID. Well, I guess it could. It looks like it says 10. You know what? There could be ID cards. You know what? Let me see if I can blow this up. You know what? I could be wrong. All right, I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. Does this say 10 or ID? You know what? It could say ID. This motherfucker can't write where the fuck. That could ID cards inside glove, inside box. That's a good point. It could say ID. I've been seeing, the entire time I've always thought it said 10. So that could say ID cards. And so I apologize to Coffin-Davis. I apologize to that bitch, just because she could be on something. It could say ID instead of 10. That's good. I never thought about that.
Look, the counter is.
It makes more sense. It makes more sense.
I think part of the problem is when you put a gag order on stuff like this, and you don't have a way for people to respond, you get us doing what we're doing now.
Speculating.
I'd much rather find out if, in fact, This is true. I would want to find out, number two, where it was found precisely, and I would want to know who it's of. And if you get if you assume all of those things are true, then I don't disagree.
Here's my problem with the leaks. If you're going to leak this type of information, you're already, listen, hear me out. If you're going to leak this, when it comes to any of these leaks, if you're going to leak this type of information, right, you're already facing like jail time. If you're going to leak that there was an ID of a victim found, why wouldn't you just leak the rest of the information and say what victim it was, who it was, and where it's at? Think about it. You're not going to get more time for the leak by saying who the fuck's ID it was. Why do I say? So you got to keep that in mind when it comes to these leaks. They could all be bullshit. Every last one of them. Every last one of them.
With Coffindeffer, it's a bad fact.
The idea that they have, what are they talking about, you think, Jennifer, in the universe of we have evidence that we believe shows that there was cyber stalking of him, of somebody else, either in that house or elsewhere?
See,
what kind of things?
That didn't even say shit. That didn't even say shit. There might have been stalking of someone in that house or just anybody, anywhere. Who the fuck knows? Think about what he just said and how fucking goofy it is. There's evidence of him stalking someone somewhere, messaging someone somewhere, who knows where from.
What are you talking about?
Well, again, to Garagos's point, if that's true, why do people stalk? They stalk because they're feeling persecuted,
No.
and this is a way that they can exact.
What a dumb bitch. You ever seen dudes when they want pussy? Ask every bitch watching this video right now. Ask every fucking chick in the fucking comment section. Dude, are dudes that are stalking you, are they stalking you for revenge? No, they're stalking you because they want to fuck. It's so, and she's a bitch. She's a chick. She knows. You think Bryan Kohberger, well, even if he was, you think he was stalking these two fine motherfuckers because he wanted the revenge? No, he wanted to fuck. I want to fuck. I don't blame him. Shit. He wasn't, it's ridiculous.
Their revenge. The same reason why people commit these types of heinous murders. All it means is pursuing stealthily. So this would line up completely with the crime he is accused of committing.
And by
am I
the way,
wrong, Mark?
it fits right in. It fits right in with Jennifer's theory from last night too. So she's really building quite a true crime manifesto here.
I can't wait for the book.
Yeah,
I'm going to need her on the podcast. The idea of is it fair to argue, Counselor, at this point, even if both of these things are true, I'm more worried about the ID being in something of his control or possession than I am of the cyber stalking, because you could be into somebody and and looking at them a little bit too closely for somebody else's comfort, but it doesn't mean you killed them.
That's right.
That's exactly right. Because
That's
if you've
right.
got something, I'm going to guess, and Jennifer, you can slap me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to guess that she would then say, look, if Pennsylvania turns out that they find things and he's connected to other crimes, this is
We'll talk
what
about that in
serial
another
killers
video.
do. They have trophies. They take a trophy, blah, blah, blah. This is like a true crime. I don't know.
Is there any of y'all that really believe Bryan Kohberger is a fucking serial killer? I'm dead honest. Think about all the mistakes that was made here if you believe that he did it. You believe serial killers make that many mistakes? The motherfucker was a pretty smart dude. So you think that it just so happens he got a little lazy on this one. Lazy on one where he killed 4 motherfuckers. That don't make no damn sense. That don't make no sense at all.
To exponential levels. So that is what the argument would be. And that's I'll give you this. If any of this is true, it's a very difficult hurdle for the defense.
It is.
Hey, thank you for
That's
watching.
true.
Please go to News Nation.
I will
now.
give him that. If it's true, it is a definite hurdle for the audience, for the defense. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if I think it's true or not. If he had the IDs, yeah, it looks bad. Even if they were planted by some chance, it still means he's going to get convicted. If those IDs are one of the victims, he will get convicted and go to prison. Period, and be killed. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I want to know what you guys think, though. I'm not really big into the conspiracies on this case, but I have to admit, for the first time, I'm like, come on, bro. There's no way he took that with him. There's no way. There's no fucking way. I may be wrong, though. I'll leave that up to you guys. I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time. Guys, if you like what I do here, feel free to hit the links down below if you find my content valuable. There's no better time than now to support the channel. I've lost a couple major sponsors as of late, and you guys are what can keep this thing going. My voice is starting to heal, as you hear. Sorry I've made a lot less videos recently. Been dealing with voice issues. When you do this for a living, this is your fucking moneymaker, right? Anyways, I love you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Kohberger has the fucking IDs? And if he does, would you agree that this is the icing on, this is the nail in the coffin? But I gotta just say, it feels really dumb. If he ran because he knew that the white Elantra was found, why would he take the IDs with him? And most importantly, if you believe he did not kill Dylan Mortensen or grab the knife sheath because he was in a hurry, why would he stop and rummage through purses? Just carry, I get it. You're going to say, well, how do you know the ID was in the purse? I'm just using common sense. Yes, it's possible that because I want you, do you think he would, let me ask you a serious question. Do you think he would just take one ID? Wouldn't he want trophies from all of them? Maybe, maybe not. Curious what you guys think. I love you guys. I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time. Let me know what you think. Victims' IDs apparently found on Bryan or someone associated with them. Love you guys. See you next time. Peace out.